Hello, welcome to the Wasting Time podcast. As we record this intro, me and Nick are just reacting to our good friends at Four Chord Festival. Listeners will know we went out there last year. Four Chord Festival in Pittsburgh. We're just looking at their lineup now for the first time.
There you go. So, Saturday, 13th of September, Blink 182.
What a booking.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Co-headliners Jimmy Eat World. It's a pretty stacked day, this first day. Jimmy Eat World, Hop Mulligan, which are obviously hot property at the moment.
Of course.
Bowling for Soup. State champs, obviously regulars at Four Chord and all around legends. Set Your Goals, Knuckle Puck, Homegrown, hey, Eternal Boy. Oh, they're atrocious, those guys. Driveways, obviously one of Rishi's guys. Charlie Bliss, Patent Pending, who are mainstays at the festival. Keep Flying, again, mainstays of the festival. And Boy in Blue Stripes, which I assume are a local Pittsburgh band. Usually does something.
Don't know too much about that act. There was a song Rishi was sharing last year that was really cool.
So there you go, that's day one. Day two, do you want to cover off day two?
Yeah, so day two, headliners, got some big hitters. Got AFI Jawbreaker. Whew. And then just below that,
Greg will be
Alkaline.
pleased about AFI.
Oh, yeah. Then we got Alkaline Trio, Say Anything, Face to Face, The Wonder Years. And then slightly lower down the bill, we've got Drug Church, Punchline, Pittsburgh Locals, Koyo, Death by Romy, Sincere Engineer, Like Roses, Runt, and Mallory Run, who I believe played last year as well. What a lineup.
Yeah, it's strong, man. Any three of the top three could be like headliners on that second day. AFI,
Yeah.
Jawbreaker, and Alkaline. Obviously, Wonder Years and Punchline in the mix there for us. I think are probably good ones for day two.
Yeah, definitely. And big congratulations to Rishi and Adam, all the team there for such a brilliant lineup.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of positive reaction in terms of the location, which they've already announced as well this year.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to
Um,
where it was in 2023, I believe.
yeah,
We should also say I don't know if we've discussed this on the podcast, but obviously I know most of our listeners are based in America, but for the few of you who do listen over here at home, Rishi, who organised this festival, his band Eternal Boy, who Nick joked about before. I mean, jokes aside, we love them. They're going to be here with Driveways in late June. So
yeah, London, Leeds,
and Southampton,
Southampton.
yeah.
Yeah,
So if any of those are local to you, definitely get along to that show. I mean, we've seen both bands obviously, and we love them both.
yeah. I think tickets are pretty limited as well, so want to jump on
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, yeah, be looking forward to seeing how the four chord piece develops over the
Absolutely.
next few weeks and months,
Yep,
and um, maybe we might have to get ourselves back out there again this year.
we'll see what we can do. Hey,
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anything else to cover off today?
oh,
I
what?
tell you what,
Go on.
I did see this morning that interested me. Vinny Caruana of Movie Life and the Avalanche fame has
Yep,
a new project called Night Sports, kind of a
right.
rock and roll type band out in New York. A bit of a kind of a culmination of musicians.
Yeah,
Jim Carroll, do you know Jim Carroll? He played in Frank Turner's band, didn't he?
yeah.
Pure
Wasn't
Love.
he was the guy with the long hair in Pure Love, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's from it. He's played in he's played in a few bands and projects.
Yeah.
So
Well. When he was in Pure Love, he was already kind of famous for his background before that. I seem to remember.
yeah, yeah. Um, but there's a little snippet of the new song. I think it's on Bandcamp. It's
Okay.
called The Wire. Uh, I like it. It's
Okay, I'll
worth a
check that out.
listen. It certainly, apparently, there's stuff already kind of down and ready to go. So new music's already been kind of locked in. So want to keep an eye on.
Okay, I'll check that out myself.
Night Sports, they're called.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, anything else on your radar?
Don't think so. Trying to think. Oh, Old Neon. Talking of the Pittsburgh connection, they had a new song the other day, Nobody's Burden. Quite enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. It's good fun. Good fun. What about gigs? Any gigs coming up? I've got Frank Turner next week,
Oh, is that next week?
Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, have to let me know how that goes.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to go and see the previous guest on the last episode, Thomas Ian Nicholas. I'm going to see him tonight in East London, so looking forward to that.
oh, there you go. Yeah, good stuff. Cool. Well, shall we just get into this episode then?
Yeah, yeah, we should. Before I set it up, listeners, I don't know what happened to my mic, so I mean, it's very listenable, but it sounds like I'm just on my AirPods. I must have hit the wrong setting at the time, so apologies for that. But don't let that put you off this interview because it was a fascinating one. So this a little while ago, I spoke to Kid Bookie, who had a huge year last year, and an album that came out towards the end of the year. So I just kind of wanted to know all about his career, and yeah, you're about to hear a Tuesday afternoon conversation I had with him.
Is this gonna go online like audio or video?
Audio with like one 30-second clip for social media video.
Don't mind if I smoke a spliff through this.
No, man, no, I
Yeah,
don't mind at all.
All right, fuck yeah then. I'll savage a big brass clock spliff.
We've been doing this for like 9 years. I can't think of many other guests who came straight on with a spliff.
They need to step their game up. The 9 years too late.
It's true. Hey, Matt, appreciate you giving us some of your time, dude.
That's all good, man. In between smoking weed and having sex with loads of animals, I'm just doing nothing.
Living the quiet life, eh? Whereabouts are you based?
South London, like Woolwich and all that.
That's where you were born and raised as well, right?
Yeah. All around those poverty-stricken bits.
Have you like consistently lived there? You've never kind of like been tempted to move to another area or anything like that?
Brother, I want to be in Devon in the fucking ocean. I'm here for now. But if I pursue marine biology in the next 10 years and get to study the coastlines I do, then I'll be in Devon.
Fair enough. That could be the next step after the music thing, I guess. Speaking of music, obviously new records been out, what, like a month or something now, something like that?
Well, fuck yeah, that's it is like a month.
Yeah. How are we feeling? How are we feeling about that? How's that kind of been received for you?
Well, it's crazy because I when you finish an album, like when you finish it ages ago, you've kind of killed the era of that album, but you have to,
yeah, of course,
and everything else. And I'm not there no more. The ethos you go into to make a project, an album,
yeah,
life you're living, the experiences you're having, the relativity you have with the world around you is all boxed in for that one kind of condensed moment, right? So
yeah.
I've been through that moment. I've had it. I've lived it. I've squeezed every nuance out of that fucking feeling, from the heartbreak, the pain, from the self-loathing, from being a victim of my own fucking faults. So everything that's put me in, I guess, a weird place of, thinking that that's who I have to be. I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm at my friend's house as well. So I had to quickly stop in at a place so I could have this as well. But
yeah, no, good.
But so I'm kind of like, I'm not there anymore. I'm in my own, I'm way past that. If anything, I've been making new music that shits on my whole album already. And I'm not saying that to say like that album means nothing. It's just more like, oh, fuck, I've got better again. The thing I want to keep doing in progression and evolution and learning and all of the fucking gripes that come with this bullshit ass fucking shit industry, I'm already conquering. So I'm in that place, I'm angrier, but I'm channeling it in a better way rather than misconstruing it or just directing it mistargetingly. I'm moodier, but in a more happier place. I'm learning to go.
Okay.
So everything's going in that way, and I'm kind of using it as my little muse, my arsenal to just power through, man. Because Lord knows I didn't give a fuck about this shit too much this year, and I'm not there no more,
But on the subject of this record, that's I guess now feels old to you because you would have wrapped it up so long ago. What's your favorite song looking back on it now?
My favorite song? Fuck me.
Yeah, have you got to pick one of those? How many is there? 14.
I think it would be probably out of Scars, AI, and Purgatory.
Okay.
Depending on how you put your syllables out. But because AI, because I feel like for me, this album was a place where, I don't know, like it's weird. It was a place where I got to exercise what I think people didn't think I could do, which was make music that is anthemic, massive choruses, production is high, can come after some of the best bands in the world if you put that shit after it, which I sometimes shied away from in that kind of thought process. Like, I've got to believe I can be like that. And I think a lot of that fun has hindered me, always self-deprecating to a level where it's almost killing you. And so I believe I can stand next to that. And I believe that music showed that. But I'm also not here to just like swing my dick and see how fast it can spin anymore. Because it's more like, all right, I've done that. I don't care to appease you anymore. I don't give a fuck if this gets awarded for any nominations anymore. Like, I don't even win them anyway. So fuck your nominations. And I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I got to go back to basics. Fuck it. And for me, the basics was fuck it. It's always been fuck it. It's never really been what the fucking people are telling me, because everyone's scared, man. And they just project their fears upon you for some things they wouldn't do. But because they haven't done it, they have no idea what the results are of it and where I do it. So I like to find out what the results are by doing it. So it's fearless shit. It's back to swinging. Like I said, it's just always like an anchor. And I'm just fucking swinging it, man.
Do you use a few different producers on this record? Like looking at the credits, like it varied from track to track. Is that an approach that you tend to do for records?
I might not even use again. Not because I don't want to work with them and shit, but just because, you know, when you do a project where it's about, you know, I've always kind of made concentrated projects where it's only me and a few producers, and that's how I've kind of merged my sound. I use so many new people that you get thrown into this session and that session. You know, it was more like me just making good music and shit that I'm not even really attached to right now. Like, I'm not listening back to some songs because it's like, they're not mine. They're just mine to make orgasms, please. And that's not how I make music. So
interesting.
And like, you know, this is no discredit to like anyone I'm working with at all. It's nice to relearn and reflect on the process you've gone through to realize who the fuck you are after it. And and that's where I'm at. I'm proud of it. Sometimes it's like uncomfortable, and growth is uncomfortable, and your own growth can make people uncomfortable in general. But I enjoy it because comfort is complacency anyway.
It's interesting. Like, just from my personal side, like I know she did a song with Mitch, and like I know Mitch a little bit, like which was a single as well, right?
Yeah, Love Drunk.
Love Drunk, yeah. That was very kind of in my lane, being a pop punk kid and stuff. Is that kind of like the most pop punk sounding song you've done in your career, or are there other ones?
I guess it's the most fluent. Sorry, I guess it's the most fluent. I guess pop punk song I've ever made, where it's just completely concentrated as a pop punk record. But I do think elements of pop punk and other shit.
Of course, yeah.
My music anyway, but it's more that song. But I chose to do that. I picked up a guitar that day and just started making the verse, and it came out as pop punk. And Mitch was like, "Oh, I thought we'd miss some rapping today," and I was like, "No, we're not."
Fair enough. Yeah. Nice, man. What's life look like outside of music on an average day, or am I getting an insight into it right now?
No, because this is me having this is a part of my day. I do sometimes you gotta have a moment for yourself anyway. I'm always up and go. I've always got stuff to do. My brain is so scattered that I'm not the best at organization, so I have to consistently check my emails all the time. So but you know, it's right now. It's segmented, isn't it? We're at the end of the year. The industry's gonna shut down in a couple months. I've released music again. I've got a fire in my belly that's probably bigger than I've had in a long time, and I want to exercise that in ways that it's like music's like you're growing. I mean, if you are in this industry, people, your growth is just documented by you existing. And I guess at this level, at this place I'm at, the next stage of my growth, no matter how under the microscope it may be, no matter if it's just my own personal shit, no matter if it's just a Truman Show metaphor in my own head that people give a fuck about me, you know what I mean? It's just, this is the state, this is my fucking platform to just go through the next stage and just kind of tap back into the things that make me me, and really enjoy and hone in to my craft, getting back into the places of just enjoying it. And I'm really enjoying it right now. I'm very, very enjoying it a lot right now. So
that's good, man. I'm conscious we only have limited time, so I don't want to take a detailed walk throughout your career, but I am curious if we could just real quick jump back to the early days. Obviously we said at the top that you grew up in South London. Just like what your early musical experiences were, like the kind of, because I've seen you talk in other interviews about, being into rock music, and, that was kind of would make you stand out sometimes in the crowds you were hanging out with? Like, what were those experiences like? And I guess what was some of like the early rock music that drew you in personally?
It's still the same experiences that, is that it's just on paper, as they put. It's just the same shit. You grow up in an area, and if you was to put a chart on it, it says what demographic here is the most heaviest when it comes to who you have to lean to as young men or just youth in culture. It's close to the rock music. Indie music is dying. Bands are not being funded around here. Instruments are dead, and no one really gives a fuck. There's garage band and there's Fruity Loops, and people are making weird little sounds in their bedroom that are kind of like just a product of culture growing. You want to find out where you fit in that shit. You start ditching what you love, because everywhere else around you is showing you that it's not really the thing to be doing, because it seems to be the lowest of what quote unquote air quotes food chain is, because for some reason you get thrown into the mix and have to be fighting and crap like that. So yeah, you're not skating, you're not listening to your favorite songs anymore, even though you're still shit, but you just go through that crap. You go to school, you realize that you don't want to do this shit, you hate most of the people around you, you go through your weird little nuanced things in your brain where you're just kind of learning what chemicals are secreting, and whether it's an autistic moment or it's just a brain synapse that's firing off. You don't fucking know. And then after you go through the loop, you find out, fuck it all, you go back to your roots, you tattoo who you fucking are, you learn to be authentic to yourself, you keep continuing that mantra, you take it forward, and here you stand today, someone preaching the shit that they've gone through.
In terms of like who you were listening to when you kind of realized that this is something that you wanted to pursue, like did you have a moment, was there like a band or an artist that kind of, when you were a kid, like made it click for you, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pursue this thing?
No, I don't think it's like a eureka moment where it's like, ding, oh
right.
shit, forever. It's just your taste is being molded by whatever you are exposed to at the time. And we are a generation, we had LimeWire, Kazaa, Bear Share, and all this crap. So we was to say, and we had wrestling, and wrestling compilations that had a random song in it, and you could be introduced to Wait and Bleed randomly by watching Mankind being pile drivered and some nows. You know what I'm saying? So just, you're like, oh, I like that. You're exposed to it more. And I guess it's just connected with the times more, right? Like the times back then were just a bit more cold, even though they're different now. And I think obviously music reflects the times, and that music reflected the times a lot more than the shit that I guess I would have been exposed to later on.
I feel like, at the time of songs of Wait and Bleed and stuff, like music was almost like more tribal than it is these days. I feel like it's more genre fluid, if that makes sense,
Yeah, for sure.
Touching upon Slipknot there, like you've done a lot of stuff with Corey Taylor over the years, which, I mean, when that collaboration first came about, that must have been surreal for you as a kid who, grew up listening to Wait and Bleed. Like how did he first or how did you first come on his radar?
I had a song called Shake Up that was bubbling up at the time, and I had a clip that was kind of odd, where I was throwing up on people. I was throwing up on a woman that was crawling across the table half naked. I was throwing poo at the camera. I was holding guns and pretending to shoot them and shit like that with drills. And clearly, and Anthony Fantano shared it, and it was doing a viral number on the internet at the time.
Yeah.
And I've tweeted something about what's Wait and Bleed as I'm coming home from a shitty job I fucking hate. And then tagged Corey in it. And then tagged me back. And then 5 to 6 years later, it's one of my best mates. I love him to pieces. And I think most of the industry know, just because of the amount of times we have spoken about it every day, that we are very close.
But to actually become mates with someone you looked up to like that,
Yeah.
And
it's been quite it's like, in a way, it's been quite a common theme of my trajectory. Career.
Yeah.
Most of the artists that I've ever really enjoyed, from Good Charlotte to Tech N9ne to fucking Slipknot to, I don't know, so many. I have been very, very fortunate and blessed enough to have them as close peers and people that support me in ways that me saying on a podcast can't admit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's super cool. And obviously, as you mentioned there, Billy Martin's done. It looks like you've done a few things with him now. Have you kind of interacted with the other? Because I know the other Good Charlotte guys are kind of heavily involved in the industry. Have you had much mentoring from the Madden brothers as well? Or has it been Billy mainly?
I talk to everyone, man, from Joel, Benji, Paul. Paul's a great guy. He just did a a master's in, I think it's engineering or some shit. I can't remember.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Stuff. I can't remember. I don't know if it's engineering or something to do with space. I can't, like, forgive me for not actually even knowing, too tough. You know, Joel, yeah, man. Joel's a good guy. We speak here and there. Being the same with Benji. You know, everyone's done what they do. I don't need them to do anything for me. So if they do anything, it's appreciated. But Billy is one of my closest friends on the planet. I love him to
Wow.
pieces. And yeah, man, I pray for his success always.
I guess they were another one, like their videos you used to watch when you were younger and stuff. So,
Yeah.
and then Tech N9ne as well. That's have you done many tours over the years that have stood out, like that have been like kind of like what the fuck moments where you've gone out with people you would have dreamt about?
I guess my favorite tour in recent times, it's just I did the one I did this year. It was with I Prevail and Set It Off. It's like a arena tour. And so that was really nice to be exposed to, you know, an audiences and at mass that I hadn't before. Crazy numbers, crazy production, you know. You know, just rocking it out with your band and your brothers. So can't really complain. You're on a fucking tour bus going across Europe that's being slapped on your bill that you got to recoup anyway. So
yeah.
the way whilst it lasts, you know.
Yeah, that's the way to look at it. Did you go down well with their crowds, do you think?
Yeah, the way I guess we got like similar nuances, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Rappy vocals, big choruses, screaming, you know, absolute core that is, you know, just going off. And our shows are like that. Like a lot of people think that, I don't know what they think. They're going to come to our shows and just get like, I don't know. But we actually just go crazy and just nasty. Guttural, like it's painful, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and obviously you've been a big hit on the festival scene. Like out the UK festivals, what's been your favourite one that you've done so far?
Oh,
I know there's some stiff competition.
2000, because we was at the smallest stage, but we made the biggest ripple, and it's just continuously spoken about, like what we did at the festival. And I'm still trying to. I'm yearning to know. I'm like, what the fuck did we do? Like, I want to understand. But everywhere we go, we are always reminded and spoken about this fucking 2000 Trees show that had about 300 to 400 people, maybe max. And for some reason, people were talking about being the best fucking set of the festival, and I go places, and it's like, so I'm like, that was a good moment because it was like, okay, we translated, like whatever it wasn't about me singing the note as great as I should have, or, you know, I didn't. It was just about it translated. And that's all you can really ask for.
No, that's really cool. And for it to happen at a festival like 2000 Trees, which is definitely one of my favorite ones, something about the vibe there, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah. I love the trees.
Yeah, definitely. What kind of artists are on your radar at the minute? Like newer artists? Who are you listening to at the minute?
There's an artist called JD Cliff, indie-ish indie grime rap shit. I don't know what it is.
All right.
But he is all fresh. He's trying. He enjoys it. I can see he's fucking doing it, you know, like it's really nice to see, you know, and I don't like just always like playing into like stereotype, but he's just like a black artist from the hood that's just doing music, rapping on it, holding a guitar on the underground, even though it's not plugged into anything, just doing his thing. And I'm like, fuck it. And I'm seeing it growing. You know, everyone's always going to shame people and laugh at people for trying, but the person that's trying has already done way more than you ever will. So,
is that something you experienced, like people laughing at you for trying in the early years?
I can try. So when I see people trying, like my mentality doesn't go to, you know, instant. I go to like, that person's trying and you have no idea, like because of luck and the way the internet's set out, that's stupid. That may be uncomfortable. That person didn't know how to speak properly. They did a song, but it's fucking shit. But for some reason, it's hit. You just don't know. So you try, but it's a fucking madness because everyone's doing something. So there's this weird pockets now. It's made like it's a crazy thing. But as long as you're trying and your waves are making big enough waves to be seen and respected, then I'm in it. So there's one that's JD Cliff, Peter Zan, same way. He's just, I don't know if he's on tour with the Libertines right now. So, he's a really good artist. He's doing his thing in the indie realm again. So like, I don't know what's going on with all fucking indie. It's crazy. Like, fuck, what are they taking? But third one would be Dave VHS. He's a good artist, man. He's like, you don't give a fuck, man. And I fuck with that shit, you know. Another one will be in my band. His name is Johnny Clayface. He's a producer. He does rapping.
Oh, yeah.
Multi-genre instrumentalist plus vocalist. He's making a project right now. He's like, you know, just not just because of like fucking, what's the word, bias. He's generally an incredible musician. Doesn't give a fuck too. He's in his own lane and will probably make waves once he starts putting his stuff out. And you'll probably hear of his own
Very
stuff
cool.
that goes further than just, you know, I can tell you on here. And I think fifth, who am I listening to? Those are the music I'm exposed to. Like those four I put are like music I'm generally exposed to, so I can hear, and I'm like, I enjoy this. But I haven't, like, if it's a newer band or new people, Lake Malice are really good. They're really like, they're too humble for their own good, and sometimes people being humble with being really like, I'll be liked, but people love you when you're humble because you're just silent and shut up. But they was to realize that they are, you know, being humble is realizing your power and controlling it and doing good with it, not just shutting up. Then they'll realize that their humility doesn't just have to be in, yeah, it's okay, hey. No, because they're fucking sick enough to recognize their shit and be fucking run with the prowess of it, man. And I'm really supporting Late Malice. Bro, there's so many. Like I can't just put fucking numbers. That's so crazy. But there's so many. Like, you know, Graphic Nature. They're killing. Like they're so good. They're fucking amazing. Harvey's one of the sickest dudes in the fucking game. He's a really nice dude. Who else is there? Hey, Malice. Delilah Bond. You know, she's doing her thing. It's not all like, you know, it's different. It's fucking alright. It's nice. She's doing her thing. So everyone, I'll just say all of the people.
Yeah.
So many. Bug, she's they're fucking sick. Heck so heavy, blood clot, ready, whatever. Fucking sick song. So many.
That's good, man. It's good that, you know, to have that enthusiasm for new music. Sure, you know, like, you know, people are coming up right behind you.
I'm not a hater. I am and very opinionated, and I might hate your songs. That's it. That's as far as it goes. Your songs are shit, and I don't hate you. And I have a big opinion on why that song might be terrible. But some of the songs you've made are great. But that song, I've seen you tapped out. You've tapped out. You need to go back into giving a shit. I've seen you tapped out. You're doing other things now. So that's me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You like to say it as it is. Well, another recent thing, you had your Kerrang cover. Congrats on that, by the way, man. But that must have been a kind of landmark moment for you, right?
Yeah, it's a thing I hold really close, I think. Because I don't really think about it all the time. But now I'm thinking about it. I do think about it. And it is something I hold really close. It's sick because I don't know any of my friends, like other than not my industry friends. I know like I'm talking about my shit over here. That like even realize the magnitude of a Kerrang cover, you know? So and I guess because I don't have a lot of those around me, it's like you sometimes have to know the worth of it. And I'm like, that's crazy to me. I don't get, you know, I'm not saying every day telling me, bro, you know, you had the Kerrang cover. I'm like, so you know what I mean? I have to remember, I've pinned that to my brother at number one. So I can see every day.
Fair enough.
Pricks.
What's what's the kind of like the level of fame that brings? Like, you know, I assume like of a mainstream audience, obviously you're talking about, you know, people, you know, locally, that doesn't really mean anything to them. But like, how often are you getting recognized when you're in central London? Or I saw like if you're going to gigs, maybe you're getting.
Oh, if you go to a gig, it's I'd almost be weirded out if I didn't, in a way.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I'm wrong here. But yeah, you know, everywhere. I've been on the train and someone's wearing a t-shirt that's got my fucking name on it. I have to tap them and like, you know, you got my name on it. And I go, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere. I've been places where I do shaking because I've just been seen. But then I've passed people that don't give a fucking shit about me. It's like, you know what I mean? There's a duality of it. And the contrast is very like humbling anyway, because it's like, I'm not walking around for anyone to be doing that to me. I was never a thing I gave a shit about ever.
Of course.
I recognize it, but I don't give a fuck about it.
Just the side thing that comes with it.
Byproduct of fucking people having like a chemical reaction to hearing you and seeing you away from the physical until they see you in the physical.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, you mentioned some of the cool tours you've done before and stuff, but who's kind of on the bucket list? Who's kind of the
Who I
big,
want to tour
big?
with?
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking Slipknot, bruv.
yeah. Okay, I suppose I'm
On
gonna
that
guess that.
shit, Corey Brennan. That's, I want to tour with Korn. I want to tour with The Knot. I want to tour with System. I want to tour. Like, I've done shows with Bad Omens. And, Noah's a good friend of mine. But
Oh yeah,
I want to tour with them. I wanna do many things, man. Like many tours. I want to tour with Linkin Park and tell Mike Shinoda to start taking me serious because we like each other. I want to fucking scream at fucking, I don't know, everyone's face and say, listen, stop sleeping on me, for fuck's sake. I am a nightmare. So,
and what about places to get to geographically, tour wise? Where haven't you been?
motherfuckers, I want to go to Japan,
Nice.
smack a sushi off a plate. You know what I mean? That's my shit. I want to go to Japan. I want to go to South Korea. I even want to go to North Korea and eat wooden oranges that they're putting on the stall to fool us into believing they've got democracy.
Have you got many listeners in Asia looking at your figures? Like, have you got much of an audience in Japan?
I hit some shit up in the Asian territories, man. So yeah.
Oh, nice. I'm conscious like we're kind of running over the slot. Just a couple of generic questions, man, and I'll let you get on with your Tuesday afternoon. You mentioned you were already working on new music.
So fucking good, I'm telling you. Like I didn't talk, like it's so fucking good. Like take a gun, hold it to my head, and I'll play you songs. And if you're like, if the machine of like says you lying, your hand just automatically triggers it off, I'll be shocked. But I know and confident that your hand will be out of fear, but you're shaking it, but there's no bullet going off because the machine's not gonna lie.
This is the best stuff you've done then. I take it.
It's the best shit. I ain't got to fucking I ain't got to worry about it. I'm waiting for my label and people that do my shit to like just realize, okay, we need to start going in because I ain't got time to wait. Rock music's fucking.
Yeah.
I'm not slow and I will die. I could die. Don't let me race my own death with the shit I got to do. Don't fucking kill me. I mean, fuck's sake.
Okay, so I guess it needs to be worked out with the label and stuff. You don't know exactly when we'll be hearing it.
But it's Christmas. People have put a lot of time into me this year, like a lot of time.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You can imagine I don't even really want to fucking see and hear me, but real. Do you know what I mean? But
fair enough, man.
That stage, give a little bit of distance, make people miss me again, because I've just been slamming my foot down and thrown through the ringer.
Final question. This is a generic one. That's a London boy. Give me 2 of the best restaurants in London, in your opinion.
2 of the best restaurants in London. Where were you eating? Dishoom.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I don't know. I'm with you on that, but yeah, this is your answer. To be fair.
What you don't like Dishoom?
Nah, man. Like it's just generic Indian. Like my wife's Indian. Like her family live out near Harrow, and some of the Indian restaurants near there, man. That's where it's at over Dishoom.
Okay. I'll take that. Well, I'm not deleting Dishoom. I will not be rocked off from your boat. I'll stand.
Fair. I respect that.
And the second one, I can't say the Greek one because I don't remember it. I had a massacre. I've had that everywhere. You know what I mean? I would say, do you know what? Fuck about. It is the nicest place. I was in London. It's about London, isn't it? Yeah. Fuck. All right. The nicest place in London is a Chinese called it's next to XL Centre called Guga.
Okay.
It's called like, I can't remember, but that shit, different.
Okay.
Very different. Very nice.
I appreciate your time. I'll
48-hour challenge. If you want to speak to me for 40 hours straight, let's do it.
48. All right, let's go.
All right, cool. Starting from now. We've only got half an hour down. We've got 23 and a half hours left.
Easy, mate. Easy. I don't think the session that I'm supposed to go to would be very impressed as much as I would love to.
Just stay on the phone to me throughout the whole thing. This still counts as time.
Congrats on the continued success. Looking forward to hearing this impressive new shit that you have coming as well.
Yeah, and I've got to stand strong in it. I can't be like, last year I have done I think it's all right. I hope you guys like it. This year I'm like, you will like it. Fuck about. Don't you dare fuck about again and stop shitting on your bed and shoving it back in you pricks. You know what I mean?
All right, dude. I'll let you get on. Good to see you.